Well, it's the next day, and Taryn and I are out here. This is the spot she prepped for her carrot bed. What was it? Just a few days ago, you came out and told me you wanted to grow some carrots. And I said, all right, well, if you want to do that, then the best way to do it is for us to actually have a deep box for you to actually control the conditions of the soil in the bed. And then you can cover it to start with here to let everything germinate and get really good and healthy, because it's, you know, it's late March. There's a chance for cold weather. We were below 30 degrees, not last night, but the night before. So there's still chance for freezing in the area for the next few weeks anyway, 2 to 3 weeks, or what is today? Maybe three to 4 weeks, give or take. Excuse me. So she came out here with a mattock and she chopped this all out all on her own and did the best to level it as close as she could. And then we went to the barn and we got out some of the what do you call it? The composite decking type material. It's not really decking. It's more like 1/2 inch by 12 inch wide planks. So I'm not really sure what it was used for exactly, but we went and got some of that and we cut it to size and we built her box. So we're going to run over there and get that, bring it over here and get it set in place and make sure we like how it's set up over there. You ready to go get your box? All right, let's go. Box bed frame we made. There's a big rock right there. Move it out of the way. So you can see what we did was, as I said, these are 12-inch panels. So they're not, maybe they're 1/2 inch, I guess, pretty close, maybe 3/8. And then we took those, cut them to size. Just what we do? Did we do 3 foot by 3 foot? You remember? No, we didn't. It was
33 inches.
I can't remember. Anyway, it's almost 3 feet by 3 feet. And then what we did, because it's so thin, we actually put some treated blocks that I had laying around from another project that we just did here recently, where I built a platform to have out on the hillside over here for us to go set at and set up on, because the hillside's so steep. I wanted to have a kind of a level surface, so I built a 6 foot by 6 foot treated lumber platform. Same thing, treated lumber was all scrap lumber that we had at the barn, and so put that over on the hillside so we had a nice level spot where we can look out across the hillside, take pictures of deer, turkeys, hawks, whatever's coming through. We do a lot of that kind of stuff around here. But anyway, so that was what was left over. So what I did was I put those blocks inside and I screwed the panels into those blocks, because there's not really enough thickness here to put a screw into here to expect it to hold very long. And then we went through and we actually put this weed mat along the inside, or on the bottom side here, and stapled it on, so it's actually attached. We're going to lay it into place here, and this thing's heavy. This composite material is heavy. So set it down there, kind of get it set. And she picked this spot because it's kind of in line with this box bed and in line with that box bed. And so when we decide to come in and finish out these rows, I'm working on cleaning these rows out and putting weed mat down and then putting wood chips over them to kind of give a nice clean walking area. We're going to eventually do that here, but this actually still gives her plenty of room all around here where she can still get all the way around the box bed and her little box and everything. All right, what we're going to do now, you see she's carrying over, I don't normally buy bagged soil, but they were at Sam's the other day and it was on sale. And we got a lot of clay, and I preach on my videos about how, you know, we grow our gardens in clay. And I mean, even these box beds started off with a combination of clay and then topsoil from around here, and then we've just amended it over the years with ash from the fireplace and rabbit manure and leaves and homemade compost and stuff. Well, for these carrots, I wanted her to have as closely controlled of soil conditions as she could have, just because, you know, I've had a nightmare of a time trying to grow carrots, and I've talked to several other people who have as well. And so I was trying to give her the best shot as possible. So while I'm not a fan of bagged soils and that sort of thing, I told him just go ahead and buy some to start off with. What we're going to do this time, though, is before we put the soils in, is we've got, how many buckets up there? 4 or 5? 4? 5 buckets of rabbit manure pellets that we got from over at my dad's place. We're going to put a couple buckets in the bottom, and then on top of that we're going to add this soil in on top. So we're going to do that now and get that going. So maybe you go and start dumping some of those buckets. Let's hope they pour okay, because they're really old. That poured out pretty good. And there's some leaves and stuff in there too, but I'm not worried about that. Yours is stuck. That's fine. You just kind of have to drop it down like that because it's probably wet. There you go. And then we'll just kind of kick it and bust it up. This is old rabbit manure. I mean, it's not fresh stuff. It's pretty old. So my dad's raised rabbits for many years. And maybe we'll put one more in here because that's actually filling that up quite a bit. Just set that aside. We may use that over here. We'll take these buckets back to Papaw later. Oops.
One of them doesn't have a handle.
Yeah, I know. Alright, so we got that board in here. We're going to just kind of spread that out a little bit. We're going to just use the hand spade, bust up some of these clumps, get it spread out evenly. And then we'll be back to you here in just a minute. Alright, Taryn's going in here. She's busting that up. You can probably hear the wind as well. Once again, we've got another windy day. They've got another red flag, no burn advisory in effect today. So guess what? Another day without a controlled burn. So this gives us a chance to get these other things done while we've got the opportunity. Alright, once we get this busted up and spread out pretty good, then we're going to add those bags of soil on top. Alright, baby, let's see what we get with 2 bags here. So these are 40 quarts each. When I ran the math on this thing, I think we came up at, without adding the rabbit manure, I think it was like 150 quarts is what we needed. So I had them get 4 bags, but that was before I thought about adding all this rabbit manure in there. So let's see where we get with 2 bags to start with. I don't have to spill any of this stuff. This stuff's like gold, even though it was on sale. Alright, let's see where we're at here. So, if you have a thing against Miracle-Gro, I totally understand. I'm not a fan of them either, but, you know, when it's on sale and we need soil, then it's worth getting it. Okay, there we go. The 2 may work. Alright, try to spread that around a little bit, baby. This is actually a lot better. The last time I bought Miracle-Gro soil, it was like pine bark mulch. This is actually not that bad. This is pretty decent, I think. Oh, man. I think your 2 bags are going to get you there, baby. That's going to settle some. Keep that in mind. It'll settle as it sets in place and packs down. But yeah, you should be good with that. That'll be plenty for you to grow carrots in. Yeah, there we go. So what we can do, babe, is you can go down and get your carrots ready here in a minute, your carrot seeds ready. And then we can either, I'm thinking actually we'll probably just attach, or we'll put a frost cloth net across the top of it. I was actually debating on whether or not to put, I've got screen material over there. And I was debating on whether to put screen material over the top of it, which is black, which would probably catch heat a little bit, maybe help hold heat. I don't know. That's what I'm confused by. I don't know whether to use the black, best use the black screen material on top, or whether it's better to use the white frost cloth on top. But anyway, we can do that either way and go for there. And all right, we're gonna go in there and get some stuff together, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, so she found her carrot seeds. So Taryn, what kind of seeds you putting out today?
Amarillo carrots?
Yeah, Amarillo carrots. So these were both from Baker Creek Seed.
I don't know how to say that.
I don't know. It's a
Purple carrot.
Lila Lou Sang. I don't know. I think this was a freebie they sent me as well. This was also a freebie. So the Amarillo, and then this is just a purple. I don't know. We'll see how they do, but they may not work. Let's see what... We checked the temperatures the other day. Yeah, we're right in the temperature range for both of them. 2 to 3 inches apart. Just do the... Actually, baby, the best way I would say to do it, honestly, would be to just kind of sprinkle them around and then just kind of dust it with your hand a little bit. Would probably be the way that I would do it.
You want to do half purple, half?
This is your thing, baby. Let's see. Hang on. Read that. Hold that for a second. Let me check and see what that says. Yeah, you don't want them more than 1/8 of an inch deep. So like I said, by the time if you just sprinkle them around and just kind of dust the dirt around, the soil around like that, it'll be the same. Carrot seeds should be the same either way. So while she's getting those carrots started, and who knows, this may or may not work. I don't know, but either way, if it doesn't work, then we've got another bed we can use for whatever. Has it not been opened? Guess not. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's right. This was a freebie they just sent me. They do theme stuff at Baker Creek, so I put in an order back this. I guess back in the fall, I guess, and their theme was purple, and so they sent me a couple of freebies that were purple. I think they may have sent some purple kale and then those purple carrots. But once she gets those in, what you see here I'm sitting on is I've got a bunch of window screen material. We bought a bunch of window screen material back in whenever to fix screened in back doors and the whole back of the house. We got a huge screened in back porch. Well, this was just a little scrap piece that was left over. So what I'm going to do, once she gets these seeds in and gets them just kind of dusted around, spread them out a little bit farther than that, if you can. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Once she gets them in, we're going to stretch this over. And once again, more scrap stuff, as I had these scrap pieces of Western cedar, which Western cedar is rot resistant and super lightweight and easy to work with. I use it for a lot of stuff. I've actually got enough Western cedar up there that I could build 3 or 4 box beds of, big box beds. Haven't yet, may do that eventually next year, who knows. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this Western cedar to crimp this window screen material around the sides. So instead of having like a hoop top on it, because there's about a 4-inch gap right now on top of this, by the time this settles, it'll probably settle down where there's about a 6-inch gap on top. What I'm hoping is that then there's enough headspace in there that I can just stretch this tight across the top. I don't have to worry about wind coming through and trying to suck it off like if I had a hoop on top of it, and allow me to kind of minimize risk with the wind. Oh, is this empty, baby?
No.
Oh, the wind was catching it. Minimize the risk with the wind blowing it away because we're on top of a ridge over here, but still allow us to have, a little bit of protection from other seeds and things going in there, and also give a little bit of frost protection as well. So let's see how this turns out. It's an experiment, right? Alright, babes, what we're going to do here, and I'm going to start on the inside over here, on the inside edge. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this across, and I want to have enough hanging over either side.
Like, how much? That much?
I don't know yet. I'm trying to see. I mean, I'm hanging too far over here for what I need. So, yeah, just pull it straight out that way. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off I'm going to put a block over here to hold it tight here, okay? And then we'll put a block over there to hold it tight there. And then we may not even need a block on these ends. We'll see. Yeah, maybe. We will see. We will see. I don't know that anything's going to keep the dog out. That dog is a monster. Will you bring me that drill, please? Pull it down tight. So here, babe, what we're going to do now, see, I'm going to pull it tight.
Yeah.
And see how it gives a nice tight stretch across the top. I'm going to put another block. Can you give me another block? Thank you. So what I'm going to do here now, and I mean, there's lots of other ways you can do this, I'm sure, but I'm just trying to make use of materials that we've got. Do what?
You said it's going to sink.
That, and yes, and the soil will settle. So the soil will settle, and then this will help keep other weed seeds and things out. I think the two sides are going to have enough tension from these two blocks here that we won't have to put anything on them. Okay. Oh, come on, cut there. That's it. Oh, there's a spot that the knife didn't cut through. There we go. All right, baby. All right. Well, your carrot garden experiment is ready, done.
Do we need
We'll
to
see.
water it?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. You can water through this too. Do you have a water? You've got a water thing up there, right?
I'll go get it.
But does it have a sprinkle top or just a...
No, it just pours. I can just pour it slowly. How much?
Keep going. You're going to wet them in really good because it's not going to rain for several days. So that's a nice gentle rain. Plus the screen helps kind of absorb some of the impact and distribute the water pretty evenly. So let's see. I'm liking this. I'm hoping it works. I'm telling you, this is exactly the same way Jack starts all of his tomatoes and peppers. He does this. This is the exact same thing he does every spring to get his tomatoes and peppers germinated. He grows them outside under a window screen. Okay, so we ended up going in and getting some lunch just then. We were starving. It was 1 o'clock. We worked through lunch, didn't realize it. But we're going to give you kind of a rundown here on the seedlings that we started last Sunday. So it's been 6, is that right? Has it only been 6 days? We didn't make a video of when we did that. It's got to be. It was 6 days ago. So it was today's Saturday. We started them on Sunday. We didn't make a video of it, but we're running here and I'll kind of give you a rundown. What we did is Taryn started some flowers and they all needed some warmer temperatures to germinate. So she's got them in the basement on top of the deep freezer. We've got a little piece of fabric insulation there because it gets really warm on top. I learned that last year. I actually got some of my seedlings too hot on top of the deep freezer. So she's actually got a little piece of fabric there. I'm saying it's too hot. It's not like it's 100 degrees or anything, but it's probably 75, 80 degrees. And I had a few dry out down there on top of the freezer. So she's got her flower seedlings, which need warmer temperatures to germinate on top of the freezer. And then I've got all of my early spring vegetable seedlings in the crawl space where it stays about 55 degrees. So they don't need as warm to germinate, but I'll take you in here and kind of give you a look at what we got going on. All right, so here's my setup in the crawl space. So I just have this rack here that I've got old pots. I've got our blackberry, you can't even see them, it's so dark. I got our blackberry containers in there, but what I've done is I've rigged these grow lights, these LED grow lights. They're suspended from the floor joists overhead. But what we got going on in here is you can see there's some things coming up already pretty good. So I've got 2 different types of cabbage. I've got 2 different types of kale going on. I keep spinning. I got some snow peas or sugar snap peas. I can't remember. I got some kohlrabi. Oh, and yeah, so I got the Napa cabbage is the big thing that I've got the majority of going on in there. So a lot of stuff started in there. We've got probably just eyeballing. I'm going to say 50 to 60% germination so far. But after 6 days, I mean, check out how some of that's the kohlrabi right there. I'm shocked. Actually, no, it's not. Part of that's kohlrabi. Part of it is a free cabbage sampler that I got from Baker Creek called Filderkraut. Snow peas are all doing really well. I'll take the top off. So there you go. Snow peas are doing fantastic, actually. And then what is that? That is, cauliflower. I forgot that I started cauliflower. I don't have a lot of luck with cauliflower around here, so that's where we're at. I'll get Taryn to come give you a rundown of her flowers, though, now.
Oh, these are my flowers. We have, I just wrote white zinnias, but they're polar bear zinnias. And I've got 3. I think that's one. It looks like it is. And then here's 2. And then these are orange zinnias. I don't remember what kind. This is marigold. So I've got 1 here And then there's one starting to come up today. And then what's this? This is butterfly weed. I've not had anything here. And nothing for lavender yet.
Lavender takes a long time.
Yeah, I think the pack said like almost 2 weeks.
It's probably longer than that.
You think?
Yeah.
And then here is, what are these? Dill and basil. These are Dad's, and there's nothing in them yet. That's all we've got in the basement.
Yeah. All right, we decided to get a little creative here to keep the dog from messing this up, and it may not work. We put this shelving on top of here to just kind of give another little deterrent, maybe to keep him from messing with it, keep her from messing with it, but I don't know. She's just a pup and she's a beast, so who knows. Oh, I think we're going to call it quits for the day. This wind is picking up. They're saying it's going to be 30, 35 mile per hour gusts. It's blowing dust all over the place, and it's kind of starting to get in eyes, and allergies are flaring up, and we're just going to go ahead and call it quits for the day. So that's going to be it for this video. Catch y'all next time.